What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Man, oh man, I was straight up going to do a video where I went over my, I think it was one of the first videos I did talking about the ban list, what I think was gonna go, and I was gonna do a video like that because I'm like, man, I haven't talked about the ban list. Let's talk about the ban list. No, the ban list is here. I was at work and I was like debating whether I should do a reaction, and I said, you know what? By the time I get out, everyone's gonna have their reaction out. So you know what? Let's just go in, kind of go over what's there, and talk about, I guess, kind of like talk about how we feel overall about this. I think the list is a little lackluster. It could have done a little more, or if not a little more, just hit some different cards, or at least add Mystic Mind. We all know it's not there. Yeah, that's about it. Let's get into the list. Oh, another thing I want to mention. So I decided to make the prize for my first giveaway. It's going to be a Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So I wanted to say at the beginning, I didn't get to it. Sorry, but the first giveaway card is going to be one copy of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. That is once we get to 100 subscribers. The video after we get to 100, I will basically choose. I'll basically choose someone from from the comments from that video, and I'll probably give it. I'll give it a little time so that way people could go back to that video and comment. And, probably once I have like a good maybe 10, 15 comments, I'll choose someone from that list, and they'll go ahead and win the Ash Blossom. So yeah, like I said, if you want to win yourself an Ash, go ahead and sub. Tell the homies, hey, just sub to this guy real quick. If he gets to 100, he'll give away Ash Blossom. So that's it for that. So let's go ahead and get to this list. Little lackluster, but yeah, let's see. We're gonna view it. We're in. So here we are, and we're gonna start off with Fairy Tale Snow. It starts off strong. I'm not gonna lie. It starts off very strong. Fairy Tale Snow. I mean, when it first came back, I was like, okay, it's here. Let's see what happens. It's a really good card. I actually had a conversation with someone at the card shop I was at a couple days ago about how, oh, certain this and certain that, and Fairy Tale Snow is very good. You can't really have Fairy Tale Snow running at 3 with decks that just want to send a bunch of stuff to the graveyard. So, getting rid of this was like a small hit to tier element, and I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that maybe kind of similar to how we kind of overestimated Sprite in the TCG. Could we be overestimating tier element here in the TCG as well, to the point where maybe it's not going to be as good, or maybe Konami, you know, sees that, hey, you know what, it's going to be good, but it's going to be, you can put the handles on it, especially with some of the other hits. It seems like Sprite was probably potentially could have been taking over depending on how it goes. But for now, we got a little Fairy Tale Snow hit. Our next hit, yeah, Rowan Toten. So I mean, as someone who plays Splight, I guess people might say, oh, you're just mad because your deck got screwed over. Yeah, of course, everyone's gonna be unhappy when their deck gets screwed over, but it wasn't like they weren't gonna hit the Frog Engine period. So it's like fine, okay, go ahead and hit the Rowan Toten. I mean, go ahead and hit the Frog Engine, fine. But why the Rowan Toten? Like, I hate when Konami goes and hits the option that just kills the rogue option. It's like you could have brought Swap Frog to 1, and that right there would have been a better way to kind of to make Toad. It would have been a little easier to get out Toad, but for the most part, I mean, we're gonna find some way to get Toad. So it's like you might as well have hit the swap, so that way Rodent Toad stays. So or maybe bring swap and Rodent to 1, so that way if you want to hit if you want to cover both of your bases. But just taking a Rowan Totem means that now if there was just someone out there playing Paleos just because that's the deck they feel comfortable with, and they either play the Frog variant, they're screwed. Anyone who's playing Frog Monarchs for the lulz, for it to be funny, yeah, no, it's screwed. Now now the little fun that they thought they could have is now over. Yeah, so I'm not too happy with Rowan Totem. I feel like it should have been swapped to 1, but banning Rowan Totem, here we go. Let's figure this out. Let's figure out how to spam Toad. Christian Fibrax. I think this is one of the cards that we called out in our in our first video. Health being gone, I very much called it because, well, I'm not gonna say I called it. Everyone had their own opinion. Some people said it would, some people said it won't. More people were probably on the side of it not staying, but the fact that Konami is not gonna want to just outright kill Sprite, and without Toad, Hulk is like Hulk is the way to go. They're gonna sit there and do the Hulk into the scythe plays or Hulk to get some other combos. So they leave Toad and they get rid of Hulk. I think this is more just to kind of stop Punk and Dragon Link, just to really keep those decks in check. Because if you don't have a check for those decks, then eventually they slowly start to become a problem. There's another hit. There's another hit that they do. That is kind of more of a Punk thing. But yeah, this does take away a lot of rogue options. Well, here it is right here. Chaotic Rule of the Magic Dragon. But yeah, this take away a lot of rogue options. I know I have a friend who plays DDD, and yeah, this is like the bread and butter of his. Well, I won't say the bread and butter, but that is like a huge part of his combos, and that really helped his deck be usable. Now it's just back to being unusable, so that really sucks. So the next card on the list is Chaotic Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. This is another card that we called, that everyone else and their mother was being called to get, to be gone in the game. Basically, this, if you're playing Tier, it sent 5. If you're playing Punk, it set up your grave. It just all around was just a very toxic card. Dragon Link would use it to set up their graveyard, and then they would they would link or like synchro or something, and then they'd be able to bring it back to do other plays. There's even the zombie combo where if you ran the Necro, the level 2 Necro guy, you could send him to the grave, then he comes back, and then boom, you got the Baron. So yeah, this card. This card. I guess a lot of people thought that this card was fair enough to stay, which true. I mean, like there's a lot of stuff, but at the same time you have some Morg right here, which only helped one deck be decent. Well, okay, it helped one deck be really. I don't want to say decent. Tri Brigade is really good. Being able to bring out the barrier statue, but like Samorg didn't need to just go. Like you could have fit other things in the deck. But yeah, this right here was just too powerful. Kind of somewhat similar. I mean, it doesn't get you out some type of vanities, it doesn't get you out of barrier statue to lock your opponent. But this does support a lot of degenerate combos, which kind of win you the game if you get the right cards. So yeah, I guess this card had to go. Unfortunately, so much stuff just still on here. Wind Up Cares and Matey still on there. We're gonna leave that alone. And the last banned card is Red Reboot. Konami, what the freak, Konami? I get it. The whole floodgate aspect, the whole kind of like the reason why we can't really have any more copies of Called by the Grave, because certain situations it's very broken. If you're playing a deck that has a couple traps and you hit them with this, okay, it's not that bad. I'll help you win the game, but it just shuts down trap heavy deck. So any kind of trap heavy deck just automatically doesn't want to play because Red Reboot's here, and that could really make or break their day. And so I see why you wanted to get rid of it, but seeing as that there's other cards that you didn't get rid of, yeah, screw that. That's kind of F you to your sideboard, trying to get a stack. I may be running a more diverse sideboard. That's their goal. We got 2 right here. We got Blackwing, Steam the Cloak, and Cyberjar. Nothing really too much to talk about here. Cyberjar could have came out the list. It's not as good as it used to be. Maybe there might be a couple niche uses, but like I said, there's a lot of cards that have come off that people thought were going to break the game and haven't really done anything, so we'll see what happens here. Blackwing, Steam the Cloak. Pretty sure this is for the Darkwing Blast. Blackwing's a part that's going to be coming out. They just want all these, all these other tuners that had to die for the sins of Crystal and Halki Fryrax will pretty much be reborn here in this new meta. We'll see what they could do. Oh yeah, Mega Phantom Beast Lion. That's another sacrifice that has been brought back because of Halki Fryrax. Substitute. After this video, yeah, well, maybe not after this video, but soon I'm going to be going through the book and just starting to dig and look for the Substitute. This is probably going to shoot up to a stupid high price for some unknown reason. Someone's gonna come up with some kind of crazy FTK that is very unlikely to pull off, but you know what? People are gonna love it and people are gonna buy it for the lols. So yeah, this coming back. I mean, it could be something like you never know with Yu-Gi-Oh. There's thousands of cards to mess with, so you never know what could happen. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't have Rowan Toten, then this guy could come back. It's not the worst. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna do anything, but never say never when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. Justin Bieber apparently. Okay, so solemn. Okay, solemn. Oh my God. Spellbook of Judgment. I'm looking. I saw Judgment. It was like Solemn of Judgment. No, Spellbook of Judgment. Yes. Everyone thought it was coming back. I believe this was a card I mentioned in my video, and yeah, makes sense. Just come back at one copy. It isn't gonna be like the biggest thing. It isn't gonna like change the game. It's not gonna make it unplayable. It's not gonna make tier 0 spell books, but it does throw a cool option. You do have you got a lot of people trying to wanting to run it. I do have an idea. Maybe I'll do a deck profile for something, but first I don't want to say anything and look stupid when I'm like, I want to do Spellbook X deck, and then it's like, okay, that don't work. So let me see if this idea in my head works. I got this idea at work. Kind of try to work it out during the football game, and if it works, maybe I'll do a video on it. A Pointer of the Red Lotus. This is just Konami saying, hey, you know those really good side deck cards that you guys are using and figuring out that, us Konami put out there for you to use? Yeah, we're going to take that away because it's a too good. Yeah, Point of the Red Lotus, too good. It is just too good to know what's in your opponent's hand and to rip a card out and to know to counter. That's just too good. Yeah, I guess you could tell the sarcasm in my voice. I don't think a Point of the Red Lotus is broken, but I do think it is really good. If you get the opponent and you have that board where it's all like pretty much if like everyone's been in the position in Yu-Gi-Oh to where you draw your 6th card and you take a side relief like, oh, thank God I drew the freaking the dark ruler no more. Thank God I drew the Rageki. Thank God I drew the Lightning Storm. Thank God I drew the one card. There's like one card to save you from this board or this matchup or this interaction, or one card will get you the win, and you draw it. And a Point of the Red Lotus said, oh, you feel happy? Yeah, you are no longer happy. And it just ripped a card right out of your hand and let your opponent know exactly how to play around, what you're going to do, and pretty much win you the game off of activating one card. I'm not the happiest player about this card being gone because I feel like this was a very good side board against annoying cards that you just can't play around. Like Dark Ruler no more. Like, this was just perfect counter, but at the same time I see where Konami's coming at. You cannot I'm trying to say, in this modern day of Yu-Gi-Oh, how fast Yu-Gi-Oh is and how effects work and how everything kind of comes together, this much knowledge, the fact that they lose the best card or they lose the only card that that they could use to stop your board, and you essentially build their hand in a way to where you know how to interact with it. It is a little different. Like, if you don't have the right cards to interact with your opponent, maybe you might say, oh wow, I can't do anything. But if you play the right deck and you know that you got like at least two like two negates and interruption, or interruption and negate, you could see your opponent's hand, and if you're competent and you understand combo lines, you'll be like, okay, you know what, this is what I stopped, this is the best he can do, this is what I have to go for. So this card being gone is understandable, although I feel it should have had a longer life. Yeah, Simo. Nothing here. This was all the same. Desire, Tanky, Malicious, a 2. Alright. So these are the cards that are no longer on the list. Pretty cool little chunk of cards here. Dynamite, the True Draco Fighter. I don't think it's gonna do anything. If they would have brought back Masterpiece, I had one of my friends talking about Masterpiece coming back. I mean, everyone was kind of calling for Masterpiece, but I don't think Konami wants to do that right now. Like, Konami knows that there's certain cards that just are good no matter what, and Masterpiece is one of them, to where it's like, oh, I'm going to tribute, I can't be affected, I'm going to build a board and play Floodgates, and then you're going to cry. So maybe next list or 2 or 3 lists from now. But for now, we'll see the way we got Dino. We got a Dynamite at 1 here. I mean, no longer on the list. Cyber Angel Benten. Ooh, this one right here. I don't know. I can't say. I don't want to say that it's not gonna do anything. I don't want to say it's gonna be broken because this one right here could be one of those choices where you do it and Drytron goes from just being there to being a sleeper deck. I don't know where people kind of those situations where people just forget how to play against a certain deck, or they have a certain play style that is that is really tailored to the format, and then it just doesn't work against Drytron. So we'll see what happens here. Shooting Riser Dragon, it's coming back. Never really needed to be on the list to begin with, but it's here and it's back, so hooray. Fusion Destiny, they're pretty much, since we don't have the Predator Plant, the fusion monsters do not have to die for the sins of the Predator Plant Link, so it's cool. I have no problem with Fusion Destiny coming back. Hopefully it'll give it'll be a little bit of a hero engine to other decks. Maybe we'll see more hero stuff. I don't think it's gonna be too unfair. Yeah, like I said, because you pretty much have to hard draw it, so it's gonna be pure hero or it's gonna be splashed. Nadir Servant. It was at 2, now it's going to 3. You get 1 extra copy. I do hear a lot of people saying that you could use it as a mobilized engage, to where if you run the Dogmatic card and you have the Garua, you activate this. You send the Garua, search your Dogmatic card and get a draw, and that's good. I'm not gonna say it's not useful, but I want to see exactly what we can do. How much advantage can we gain? Because I do remember the Dogmatica outlet. What was it? Shadal deck, and I remember it giving me a little bit of trouble. So if we could do something like that, and especially because we have there's no red reboot, so you could play your back row without worrying. And maybe it could be something. Light Stage. All right. I like Trickstar Light Stage. I love using it in my Splite deck. Turning off the back row is very, very important. Searching at level 2 gives you, pretty much you see Light Stage, you get that free special, and you take care of the back row. This card right here, I believe, puts Trickstar back at full power. So you have all the Trickstar monsters. You have the Light Stage, and you have the Reincarnation. So, Trickstar, maybe Trickstar becomes a rogue option. We'll see. I actually got a little kid at my locals. He's playing Trickstar. I'm trying to help him out. Make it a little rogue competitive. So hey, maybe he found himself in a situation where he has the next top rogue deck. Walrus Villain Light. Don't think it's gonna do anything. It's here. Hooray! Yeah. As you can tell, there is no Mystic Mine. Mystic Mine is still here. We are still going to deal with it. And yeah, luckily though, Konami did not hit Dark World No More and did not hit Super Polymerization. Those are 2 cards where I thought Konami might want to pull their BS and say, hey, these are good counters to the format. We're going to limit those to 1 and then force you to run these other cards and, reprint them. Yeah, Konami didn't do that. Thank you very much for keeping those cards in there. They did hit Splite. They got Splite with the Rowan Toten, and then they also got Tier Element with the Fairytale Snow. So they did give the obligatories a slap in the wrist for the top decks for the next format, but they did leave it open for a lot of stuff. I don't want to go with a bunch of decks, but Math Mech seems like it was untouched. You don't gotta worry about any Math Mech stuff. Maybe even Flaundery. That's a lot of it got reprinted, so it could be a deck people are gonna be jumping on. Maybe I won't even go over some of the better hand traps. So it looks like we're gonna be searching a lot. I can't tell just right off the bat, but maybe maybe Ash Blossom could be making a comeback in the format. People will be looking to get rid of that, get rid of the searching. I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna start ranting because, like I said, I'm not 100% happy with this list. I'd say I'm at 70% happiness, so whatever the hell that means. I wish Konami would have I guess done a little more for tier element, especially because we're gonna get the Ishizu stuff, so we have more tier element cards coming. We have more cards that are gonna be coming on the way to make them better. So maybe a little bit of a harder hit would have been cool. Hitting Splight in a bit of a different way, because it's not like Splight was just taking over the meta. So I feel like hitting the Rowan Toten was a little hard, but at the same time, we're gonna find a way to play around this. So we're gonna find a way to get the double Toad out. Yeah, that's pretty much it right now. That's my little quick discussion about the ban list. I'm gonna have another video coming out talking about the market. Yeah, I don't know why I had a brain fart, but talking about the market and how some of these how the ban list is affecting the market right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video. Once we get to 100 subscribers, I will be giving away Ash Blossom Joyous Spring from the 2022 tins. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like. Thanks for stopping by. Peace out.